Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host and pearl name, the one, the only Master Propaganda, here of Psych Defend over the fatherland of you till one we one own. You guessed it is. Ploesti Outskirts, in the north it is. Tonkatsu fighting here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth rolling out with the 11th Armoured Division. Here with the Royal Engineer advanced placements and tactical support in the south it is. Eisernes Kreuz here fighting for the Oberkommandwest Germany, Deutschland. Here with the Führer Grenadier Brigade here with a grand offensive featuring the Panzerfusilier, the smoke bombs, the Infantry Sturmgewehr 44, the Panzer Commander and the Tiger tank. A double Sturmpanzer start the Kuhlwagen versus a triple section start there. Off to an aggressive start in some regards here versus a fairly standard British start. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons or supporters who keep the broadcast possible. Big thanks to all those. Other people you don't like, Patreon. Let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, and if you're in the market for pre-ordering comments theme, there's one link in the comments. Use the code CoH2 and I get a small part of the sale there. So, off to the races behind in the south. Sturmpunie seizing the point. Sectioning forwards here for Tonkatsu. The Führer Begleit Brigade was one of two bodyguard units, or units formed from Hitler's bodyguards at the Wolfschanze after that was basically no longer in use. They had a lot of defense units there, and so they formed up two sort of Panzer Brigade style units out of them, which would later be upgraded to Panzer Grenadier Divisions. Fun fact. So, racing in with the Kuppelwagen there, that's the section, and no Panzerfusilier yet here for Mr. Eisernes Kreuz. More British forces being poured southwards here for the 11th Armoured University following up, plus Panzerfusilier here for Eisernes Kreuz. Definitely not quite your most standard Oberkommanders build here with the Panzerfusilier. Most players tend to be a bit more aggressive, getting them out fast here. Or they'll go for Volksgrenadiers, but double Sturmpunie, Kuhlwagen, and then Panzerfusilier is a bit unusual. Tonkatsu going for the other classic Royal Engineer here with the Assault Sappers, as I call them, because they're basically Assault Sappers. Designated Command Vehicles, Vehicle Repairs, Incendiary Mortar Support, and the Churchill AVRE. And of course here, Tonkatsu makes a smart move, could attack into the Sturmpunie, which would have been, you know, long, drudgy work, or just try and play around, then try and, bait the Sturmpunie into attacking into them instead, which benefits Tonkatsu more than attacking into the Sturmpunie. Though they do technically have the advantage long range, the Kuhlwagen here slightly changes the dynamics, and I think that's what Tonkatsu is hoping to change around a bit on. North here, we got trenches being dug already, plus sandbags. Tonkatsu really looking ahead here to a big fight up north. University quality for the Sturmpunie, the Sturmgewehrs there, ripping through the light armor. We got the Panzerfusilier forwards here for Eisernes Kreuz. Sturmpunie and they're being ripped apart up close here. Again, we can sort of see the way that Tonkatsu is slowly trying to meld the engagement in their favor here. A mold, as an actual call there. Meld, kind of close. Fourth section there for Tonkatsu, section almost taken out here. Other section also forced back in there. The Sturmpunie up close can really do damage to the sections backed up with the Kuhlwagen. The situation ultimately didn't quite favour out there for Tonkatsu. Fourth section on the way, plus another Panzerfusilier squad up north here. Section as the Panzerfusilier here. The Panzerfusilier quickly disengaging, realising there's no way they can win that engagement against an entrenched section, which is of course exactly how Tonkatsu wants it. Kuhlwagen there back at base, completely repaired up here for Eisernes Kreuz. Panzer flanking in there with an anti-tank, a rifle grenade, if they can get close enough. Fortune for Tonkatsu, they can't. Troops running out here from the base, Panzer for the point here. For those wondering what was the Panzerfusilier, it was basically a fancier Panzer Grenadier title, initially unique to the Großdeutschland Panzer Grenadier Division, but would sort of have now to other units in part, the Führer Grenadier and Führer Begleit Brigades, because, well, the units at the Wolfschanze acting part of the Großdeutschland, so they somehow got the title carried over there. Fun fact. There you go. Got some assault saps out of Tonkatsu and get flamethrowers, which also makes them quite good in the assault here. We shall see if they go for it. Worth noting, no tech yet here for Tonkatsu. Most British players tend to be fairly fast in teching, but Tonkatsu is going for a pretty heavy tier 1, which does also prevent them from upgrading the University over the Vickers K fairly fast, which is typically one of the things a Brit player will do. Eisernes Kreuz being come into even more Panzerfusiliers. That's 2 Sturmpunie, 3 Panzerfusilier, and a Kuhlwagen versus 4 sections, or infantry sections, and assault sapper sections. That's quite an infantry heavy fight here between these two players here. The south here fighting flaring up again, and again up close to Sturmpunie squads. Really can do a lot of damage, and I think in part this is why Eisernes Kreuz went for double Sturmpunie. part because the British can slightly struggle with them, but in particular on a map like Ploesti Outskirts, where there's more, shall we say, sharp blockers, sharp corners, you can more easily leverage the Sturmpioneers, you know, effective rangers, and that way, the ability to shred Englishmen. There we go, one squad being pushed back here, Universal rushing in there, tech finally happening here for Tonkatsu, that means upgrades, and that of course means the Vickers K. Saps moving from the north there, no upgrade for them at all. Up north here, while the section remains nicely entrenched, it cannot defend the carve point here, and of course Eisernes Kreuz is right here through Tonkatsu's, well, defense there, exploits the floor and cuts off the fuel. Thumbs up. So only highlights again, then that's thusly a bit of an issue there for Tonkatsu. Truck out there, they'll probably a Belgrade headquarters here of Eisernes Kreuz, but it could surprise us with a mechanized regiment. Some players do like to do that. But I think with a 5-squad build on Ploesti Outskirts of that, I think he's probably going to want to go for the Belgrade. But no! He does go for the mechanized regiment. In a rather great upset here. Eisernes Kreuz just goes his own way. Impressive. Oh, definitely tough to recommend. But that doesn't mean it's bad, but it's definitely something else. So, thumbs up here to Kreuz. There we go, got a bit of suppressive fire here from the rest of Kreuz. He just desperately tries to get out of there. Can he get out of there? Looks like, against the odds though, he does manage ult here. Nice use of the smoke grenade, also part of the assault sappers kit here. Regular sappers do not get access to that, by the way. And they also not as a flamethrower upgrade. But yeah, Kuban rushing in there. That'll be the end of the... Yeah, Universal K in the end. Really close here though for Tonkatsu. Incredibly close. They almost had it there. But fortune did not quite follow through here. So there you go. Graham Northern points digging in, fortifying, preparing for the next German assault here from Eisernes Kreuz, going there for the G for defeat or recon package, which adds a bunch of G for defeats, but also crucially a 6th guy turning into a 6-man infantry squad. Crucially, of higher quality than the Osttruppen. Enforcing healing here. Got the bolter section upgrade here for Tonkatsu, obviously with that much infantry. You want to leverage that in some aggressive ways, and certainly going for a 5th guy on them is going to be quite a punch there. We'll have to see how Eisernes Kreuz responds to that. Will he go for looks? Is he planning Puma? I mean, he's up against the British, so he may, of course, be anticipating the AC Mark III. But if he tosses the looks at that, that's just going to get eaten up and destroyed. So I would not be surprised if he's actually planning to go for the Puma here. But we'll have to see. Definitely not your average Brit on Oberkommandos matchup here. Up north here, we got the section of the Panzerfusilier here. G43 is almost done. That's 2 squads there, more or less upgrading in a few moments. And just 1 squad to go. That's of course the Sturmpioneer can be upgraded as well with Panzerschrecks for a bit of anti-tank here. But there you go, Tonkatsu's men being met with some fierce firepower here as Eisernes Kreuz strikes for Deutschland. Now, the fun fact about the Führerbegleiter and Führergrenadier brigades is they actually have parts of what is known as the Landsturm. For those wondering, hey, doesn't that sound like Volkssturm? And yes, it was. The Landsturm was actually the predecessor to the Volkssturm, which is something you actually don't hear a lot about. But they did exist, and actually a bunch of them are basically just turned into, well, basically, again, Panzer Grenadiers. In a sense, like, of course, that's just the title. They were also, more crucially, again, old men, they just mounted on bicycles. Oh, God. Anyways, fun story there, if you find that fun. AC Mark 5 Tonkatsu. We do get the looks here for Eisernes Kreuz. Good golly, he is bold. Is he planning Panzerschreck somewhere? Or was that AC Mark 5 is going to eat up his looks? Also got a section right here in Tonkatsu. Eisernes Kreuz so far really strong off to the start. I mean, again, very infantry build, but again, crucially, one which the British may not quite be as fully well suited for. Got an assault officer here. Thumbs up there to Tonkatsu. Getting close quarters map. The assault officer packs a punch there with their Sten guns. There you go. We got the looks out here. The Panzer II Model L. Which was one last ditch attempt to make use of the Panzer II chassis, which really wasn't meant to see combat usage. It was mostly what we'd call a training tank, in a sense. Like, you know, they were designing these tanks, like, you know, get a hang of tanks to make them. But, like, they were never really meant to see combat, but they did. In fact, they saw a good deal of usage, for example, in North Africa, where half of Rommel's armoured forces were composed of Panzer IIs and Panzer Is. Anyway, sabotaging here. Panzer looks rushing in. There go AC Mark 3 here. This could be what Tonkatsu needs to really turn the game around here against Eisernes Kreuz. AC went in hard with the looks here. Perhaps not expecting the AC. There go. No, didn't get immobilized, but even then, it's not going to escape the AC Mark 3 with the 75mm cannon. Officers out here. Section probably did survive. Should have a good chance knocking out looks, and there you go. Quite the blow there to Eisernes Kreuz. Again, his big light tank push here against those Inselaffen, completely derailed here. Shattered by the British cavalry here of the Royal Hussars. I don't know, something like that. Equipped with the semi cannon. In fact, as the war went on, the British would increasingly like try and mount really big guns on all the armoured cars. For example, the Staghound, whom some may remember with horror from Companies 1, they would actually also mount some of them with Crusader tank turrets with a 6-pounder gun in it. So there's a fun one. Eisernes Kreuz response to that, of course, is going for the Puma, the 234-2, which is the specific version known as the Puma, the others just known as like armoured cars. Fun fact. There you go, 234-2, Puma heavy armoured car out there. Big push for the center of the Panzer straight into the sections and the sappers here. No flamethrowers up here, no grenades, no Bren guns. We do get a Vickers here, which I think is crucial against such an infantry heavy build here from Eisernes Kreuz. Particularly the way he's sort of bracingly attacking. A Vickers machine gun is going to be a very handy addition up north here. Puma getting the AC Mark 3 here. We can see there. Tonkatsu, of course, desperate trying to get out. They need to pop smoke here. Yeah. Smoke off here. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. It doesn't really much here to come up. He could try and turn around here, but it can't. Puma misses, though, and that means the AC should have a chance of surviving. Close call, though. Very close call. Cut-off point being hit. They deny northern fuel silence all been claimed by the British Empire here. The 11th Armoured. Sturmpionier Panzer rerouting here to perhaps get the cut-off point back here up north. Puma the section. Obliterating several members of the section there and relieving their sandbags and ruins as well there. There you go. Assault officer caught here by the Germans and quickly dispatched. And here Eisernes Kreuz goes for a bit of surprise. He actually goes for another Panzer squad, committing him to a total of 6 infantry squads. So that is a fairly infantry approach you'll typically not see from most Oberkommando players like this, at least. So that's an interesting choice here. An interesting choice. As for Tonkatsu, well, we'll have to see what happens next. I mean, he's definitely a bit in uncharted territory as the Germans. There you go. Nice bank flank here for the Panzer on the Vickers machine gun side there. Could maybe consider another Vickers, try and help, deal with all this German infantry at this point, honestly. 2 Vickers might provide with enough tools here to halt some of these assaults here from Eisernes Kreuz and the German army. There you go. Saxons caught in an absolute hellish crossfire. They are pretty much sent running there. And there's a good chance with that much firepower here, they're going to get wiped. Yup. Another blow there to Tonkatsu. Eisernes Kreuz just keeps hitting, and he's hitting hard. And the South Panzer hitting a mine, 2 men dead there. So a bit of a mess here. We do get some upgrades there. Weapon axe on way. Not that he has a lot of munitions to do much with it, so yeah, maybe she's just going for another Vickers, honestly. Try to take up here rather than try and go for like weapon axe right now, because it's like 1 Bren gun at most, and that's it he can get. I mean, another Bren gun soon. Still, Eisernes Kreuz taking advantage. He's all taking up here now. Could be Belgian headquarters, could be mechanized. Hard to say which of these 2 options he's planning here. Again, we are very much in they are the usual developments here for Brits versus Oberkommando matchup. Those typically tend to be more Overwatch or Scavenge with Jaeger's focus. So Eisernes Kreuz going for a very heavy. Oh, he seemingly spotted it. Had an idea of it. I'll way around it. Section they're almost done here. We got the truck hauling force there for Eisernes Kreuz. Machine gunner saying, but they've got Sturmpionier in there. Close range. At a bad corner for the Vickers. Doing heavy damage to it. In fact, with their assault rifles, they wipe it entirely. Really not great there for Tonkatsu. Great though for Eisernes Kreuz. Absolutely amazing. You can sort of see again, once the Sturmpionier gets some veterancy, they really start like, packing a punch there with their assault rifles. But once they hit veterancy 3, they sort of become panzer grenadiers in terms of like overall DPS, meaning they can actually like really start hurting enemy infantry. So This could become a bit of a problem there for Eisernes with the 2 Sturmpioneer squads. Plus, of course, they can also quick repair like most damage on any armor vehicles that, you know, Eisernes needs fixing. So, really rough situation to be in right now here for Tonkatsu. Really rough spot. Not one that's enviable. We got another vehicle on the way there. Still no tech, of course. Officer's about to get wiped as well. Yup, another wipe here in Tonkatsu. Another slap across the face here. Grab northern points. So Baker's almost done. Puma there snark away there with its 50mm gun there. Tractor being pushed back. In comparison with the British, while who kept like trying to just add bigger and bigger guns to the armored cars, the Germans actually weren't too keen on that. Puma was a little more like, you know, because they had a bunch of spare turrets from a scrap reconnaissance tank project, but they actually were not happy about it because they're too concerned that the gun crews, you know, crews in the armored cars might get too cocky with a bigger gun in the turrets. They kind of stuck more to like just the 2cm autocannon, in fact. What they'd rather do is just look to like make more armored cars with it from like, you know, other things like half tracks. Go figure. Puma there pushing back the AC Mark III still. Tonkatsu making some progress back here versus Eisernes Kreuz, though definitely still holds the advantage in a lot of ways. We've got the Schwerer Punted calls up here. Grenades off here, the Stielhandgranate. Metal 24. There you go, charging the Bren guns there. It's not going to go too well here for Eisernes Kreuz Panzerflieger. Again, up close, the G for the Fleas do pack a punch, but it is not enough here. And Tonkatsu is able to at least push back some here for Eisernes Kreuz forces. So we can see there's a slow bit of a comeback here now for Tonkatsu versus Eisernes Kreuz. But he's really leveraging these Sturmpioneer in a powerful manner. Certainly showing there's something certainly like going for more than one Sturmpioneer squad. Which is like typically what most Orbit commanders play for, like really religiously stick to. About to dig trenches, but then spots the Schwer Punted quarters and realizes that the trenches within range of that. It's going to be an exceptionally bad idea. Tech there for Tonkatsu and the British Empire. Should be able to get that tank at the head of Eisernes Kreuz despite everything. So, again, despite a bit of rough early mid-game position here for Tonkatsu, there's a good chance they can still, you know, turn this something a bit better here. Smoke deployed there. Very good. Nice to see mostly over the British. In this case, also inadvertently helped save the AC Mark III. Sneak up there with the Sturmpioneer. Again, good terrain here. The Vickers does pose a bit of a problem, but again, making use of the, you know, wrecked containers and all the other stuff, you can still like, you know, try and bait the sections to the more effective range of the Sturmpioneer. In this case, though, not so much luck for that. I can sort of see the idea of it making work. I'm assuming we're going to be looking at a Cromwell tank here for Tonkatsu. Centaur will obviously great, but the infantry is going to be an absolute mess against the Puma. Particularly when you consider Tonkatsu has no other anti-tank weapons. In fact, they got none. So Cromwell will be necessary here to deal with the Puma and of course still also murder infantry. They're sitting up here. Puma holding back here. We got 3 kills, Veti 2 for that. Grab Northern Fuel Point again away from the British Empire. Well, there's the AC Mark III. But even then, like, you know, you typically want the Cromwell to work together to take out the Puma. Plus, working together, they can also then deal with any potential Panther force that Eisernes Kreuz could be tempted to chuck at Tonkatsu. Because when you combine it with, say, target tread here, that can make it very difficult like for Eisernes Kreuz to get his Puma out of there or any other tank. More Bren guns there for Tonkatsu going up finally. Good for him. No replacement for the officers, though I would not be surprised if he actually has no intent, at least in the near future, to replace them. Smoke deployed again against the Vickers. In this case, supporting a fresh push by the infantry. Good use of the smoke there, Bob. In the south here, South is spotted by the Panzerflieger and is rapidly sent packing. And there you go, Cromwell Mark IV tank there on the way for Tonkatsu. When we're going forward, good shot then, the AC Mark III. Second shot, though, goes a bit off the mark.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our
Cromwell there, halfway done.
supply line's been cut.
Panzer dying a bit back here, obviously not quite looking to tangle too closely with the British infantry. There's a lot of riding here on that Cromwell tank for Tonkatsu, because if he can make it work, he can really push back Eisernes Kreuz, gain some steady map control, and put himself in a much better position. But if this Cromwell fails, he's going to be in some really deep trouble. Because at that point, Eisernes Kreuz just fought the tanks, being just trying to up for a Tiger tank, at which point he could possibly just smother Tonkatsu quite effectively. There you go. Corner bad spot, though, again, bailed out with the smoke bombs. Cromwell has arrived. And in the tank commander, very good. Sturmpionier, Panzer in the fire here. Cromwell racing ahead here. Gonna crash the cover and try to crash the Germans. There you go. Both squads are being routed. Puma shoots, bounces off the Cromwell's armor there with his 5th gun. Gun of the Puma there is basically roughly equivalent to that of a Panzer III Model L or M. They're high velocity guns. AC, they're charging in the Puma here. Could try to mobilize, allowing the Crom to catch up and finish it off here. Or is he just going to hope he can take it out here? They both pop smoke at the same time, but in the end there, that one final shot. Puma misses, the AC does not, and with that, suddenly, Tonkatsu at least briefly has the edge, because now he has a tank, an armoured car, and his opponent has got bugger all. Except, of course, most of the map and significant man-power advantage. It's not like Eisernes Kreuz is completely out to sea all of a sudden, but Tonkatsu now has a much stronger chance to turn the game around in his favour. Much stronger. I may want to consider more infantry, an officer perhaps, or again, another Vickers machine gun, because whatever Tonkatsu can do to help control and contain Eisernes Kreuz infantry, I think is going to be a really good thing. So more Vickers machine guns right now would be a very strong addition. Moving ahead, digging in, grabbing points. Filling a bit of manpower, though again, Vickers machine gun. Very good addition. There we go, we stick out now the assault officer. Not a bad idea either. Could still go for Vickers, to be honest. Of course, they may also want to consider machine gun, or anti-tank, I mean. Academy for there for Eisernes Kreuz, second one there. Yeah, it looks like either Panther, or actually they're hoping to hold up for a Tiger tank.
There's a shiny new officer and gentleman.
Got the officer out here. AC going forward, straight hit from the cannon right through the side armor of the AC Mark III. Pants moving up here. Nice little setup for flank, and we get that second flank here in the south. Sturmpionier moving ahead, though. Lacking Panzer Sacks, they're going to have a tough time with the Cromwell, that's for sure. There you go, smoke bomb again, and crucially, again, note that he's doing it right in the midst of Tonkatsu's core defense, pretty much preventing him from shooting. Meaning the defense is, while technically not suppressed in terms of mechanics, is effectively suppressed. Troops falling a bit back here. AC, they're being repaired. Still a bit of manpower float here. Probably trying to figure out what Eisernes Kreuz next move is, perhaps. Looks like an attempted anti-tank rifle near, and the AC Mark III almost got the saps in the process. You can see the Tonkatsu has a good chunk of the map now here versus Eisernes Kreuz. The big 2 points wise to turn behind, and there you go. Panzer push it too far. Could see a wipe, perhaps, which would be very beneficial for Tonkatsu if they could wipe them. But no, looks like the smoke may just happen right in time, saving with the last surviving member of the squad there. Dieter there managed to pull back in the southeast section, basically the point there. And we got the Sturmpionier advance, both veteranly free. There you go. Another hard swing up north here. 3 Panzer squads with G43 versus the section of the Bren gun. Machine moving up, section moving up as well there. Closing on that tight in the southeast section of the advanced Sturmpionier. No 6-pounder guns, armored car with an engine on the Fritz. The Cromwell in dire need of some repairs and maintenance. There you go, right of the mall here. South here, Sturmpionier breaking through here for Deutschland. And there you go, Tiger 174th here for the Führer. Big light Brigade. Another sub team check for the repairs here for Tonkatsu. Not a bad idea, but there will be a need for a 6-pounder gun, if not multiples, against that Tiger tank and its 88mm gun. South the AC versus Sturmpionier. Tiger tank striking here. We can just see a full retreat here from Tonkatsu. Because again, they got nothing in the nearby postal code there to even deal with the Tiger tank. 6-pounder guns down the way. Of course, be quite important here for Tonkatsu, and I expect to see another one after the first one. Tag tank pushing northwards. Eisernes Kreuz feeling probably fairly confident with the tag tank on the field here. Adding the Puma machine into the target tank. Cromwell setting out. 6 punning ready there for Tonkatsu. Sturmpuni caught with the Cromwell routed. Sending big seats, but there's a German army. Tiger falling back in south. We got the Eisernes, the Cromwell. Yep, 6 punning gun ready. Few more hit shots there from the Cruiser Mark IV Cromwell. Shots fired at the Panzerfleet, misses again moving up. AC nearby, 6 punning nearby. First shot from the 6 punning gun pierces the Tiger tank's frontal armor with ease. All the Panzer moving forwards. Cromwell raising in, it looks like he's going to try and crush some German troops here. Or perhaps intimidate his opponent to think he's going to do that, but either way it doesn't happen. And there you go. Oh, I thought he was going to wait. And then tank rapidly until the chemical shot gone off. And that quickly did not work out. The AC tank hits here, Tiger tank falling back, clearly a bit intimidated by the 6 punning gun. And of course, the AC Mark III hanging about there in the background as well, since if you immobilize the Tiger tank from the 6 punning gun, that could quickly turn very bad for Eisernes Kreuz Tiger tank. So he's obviously very hesitant. Okay, imagine again we'll be looking at another entertainment enough for Tonkatsu, swift advancing. At least one some respite here. Still, Eisernes Kreuz trying to leverage a bit more out of the Tiger tank. But no, though the 2 Sturm Pioneer squads should be able to repair it pretty swiftly. There you go, now they're penetrating it from the 6 punning gun through the Tiger tank's frontal armor at max range. Close to Veterans 1, which opens up here for the rapid maneuvers ability. A base here, not much else transpiring in the south here, point grabbed. You got the Panzer the section. Tiger tank pretty rapidly fixed up. That's about being down to half health in a matter of moments. It's in another matter of moments due to having 2 Sturm Pioneer squads for that free. Been able to like pretty quickly repair it. So that's another benefit like for players to consider, like just having 2 Sturm Pioneer squads once you get a bit of veterans, you can very quickly fix up your army. All the way, Tiger tank's got to go once more for Eisernes Kreuz. Cromwell flying away here. Vickers flank. Tiger tank then gained from the other side. Pretty bad news there for the Vickers. Oh, and the retreat path is even worse, and he gets wiped. Great kill there for Eisernes Kreuz. Could go for 6 punning gun here, but guess that's not the intent. Might be a Firefly instead to do with the Tiger tank. Using its 17 punning on the south section as the advancing Sturmpunier, but there you go, quick concussive grenade. Not the German's actual concussive grenade, but the Model 24 Schildhand Grenade did also have concussive effect, and since that's part what it relied on to stun the defenders, allowing the attacks to close in more efficiently, while also producing no fact, which of course did have its disadvantage as well, but again it did mean you can use it quite easily on the attack. You see there's the Sturmpunier up north here, we've got the section advancing here. Another cannon of Eisernes Kreuz. Could also be, of course, Avery's being planned here by Tonkatsu. Could, of course, load some very large holes into Eisernes Kreuz forces. It scores a few wipes in the right places. Third cannon ready here. Tonkatsu getting very close to that Churchill Avery, or again, a Firefly. Could also be a Comet, obviously. 480 manpower, 75 fuel. Comet, also very big possibility for Tonkatsu, honestly. Quick steel hand grenade here against the section.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
I've been caught between the 2 sections from the Bren guns. Officers nearby also proving to be a bit of an obstacle there. Less than 100 points left for Tonkatsu. Something each time they can't go for the Comet now, but are they planning a set for the Avery here? So you need to make soon, but does look like it's going to be an Avery after all. Bit surprised to Jason Carter. Typically, in my experience, tends to be more of a comet person, so Avery definitely would be a bit of an interesting choice there. We do get the Churchill Avery out here. Going out here.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Strumpania flanking the Vickers. Cromwell to the rescue, but no by their Veteran 4, closing Veteran 5 pretty rapidly. Kevin going to the Cromwell. Avery rolling in here, another hit there. Wipe the Sturmpioneer. You can sort of see there why Jason Carter kind of went for that one. That's to be very popular with some British players, but of course, again, that ability to just wipe a German unit is pretty tempting. Targeting, advancing at 10 kills, close veteran running, going for that section wipe here. Not quite managing it, close though, very close. McKenna's trying to get the Cromwell racing in past the Kednevs, forcing the ultra retreat here. Infantry filling up here, AD reloading. AC Olsen support here. Almost got the Sturmpioneer there wiped. Panzer filling up here, Titan remaining reserve here. Looks like it may commit as well. There's 6 Pentagon running around here. Vickers also trying to join in the fighting here versus the Germans. Cromwell AC going for it. But there it goes, straight into the TIE tank and its 8 inland gun. Quickly crunching through the Cromwell frontal armor. Fortunately, Jason Carter does have access to sapper section, so it can of course fairly rapidly repair most of the damage. Of course, they don't exactly have a lot of time for it. So, gotta make some decisions on that one. 6 Pentagon gun, Avery remaining. Oh, yeah, Avery. AC looks like it can be repaired here. Prioritizing that one because if you can catch the TIE tank with a target threat in front of the 6 Pentagon gun and the Avery, you possibly could have a chance of taking out the target tank. So I could sort of see the logic in that one if that is possible planning here. But there you go, lots of the cannons up with the Churchill Avery. AUC good to go. Avery though forced back. Trenches being dark. And Eisernes Kreuz here committing to the Stockasserfuss, which was basically a nickname for the half track.
Where do you want us? Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Getting the Panzerverstärker there, 20 kills. Cromwell achieving eventually 5. Some pretty weird signs involved there. Waiting to Italy here to push back like Ken. Memphis does have plenty of missions floating about. Cromwell's good. It is good to go. This is the AD. It's almost good to go here. 20 damage to 361 here. And we got the AC Mark 3 being changed to command vehicle. Typically, most players would do it with the AV array because, well, the penalties do not affect the, AV array ability there, the petard mortar there. So most people just go for that one instead of the armored car, which does take a slight hit, but our way though. Command aura there's a good idea. Bit surprised it took them a bit this long to go for it, but oh well. Sturmpioneer close to the east, a little bit straight up into course flying away there. Sector the camera, pushing it back. Panzer's advancing, engaging. And we're shooting away. Ooh, that was a waste of a shot. Great though for Eisernes Kreuz. Stuckerswurst there wipes another section, leaving a bit of a gap. Then Jason Carter's forces, the Titan advances forces again. 15 kills, the veterans won here. But there you go, might see the Titan immobilized here, but with the 6 Pentagon gun crew abandoned, are gone. They can't even exploit that. Bit awkward in the south. We got a potential break from the south of the Panzerverstärker here. In the center of the situation, a bit of a mess here as well. 6 Pentagon recruited by a few plucky sappers. Shot there, and we got smoke bombs here. Moving up here in the center and the south here. Gonna go for, I think, a speedy triple cap here and try and close out the match here before Jason Carter gets their bearings about and maybe launches a counter against Eisernes Kreuz here. Bold, dashing maneuver here, but Eisernes Kreuz here. Bold and dashing. From there, flying away there. Avery there. I think baited into firing a shot there, maybe. I don't know. We only got 1 kill. 6.9 turning into the Tiger tank here. We got 3 and 48, was 27. 26. Panzer in the south here being routed.
25 points left.
25 points left here for Tonkatsu. 2 points on the control here of Eisernes Kreuz. Smoke deployed here, self-repairs enacted. I suppose could the rest try and go for a Comet? It's going to take forever. Eisernes Kreuz here going for a Puma. 234-2. Sees in the center, sees in the south. Suppose they could try and make a round from north one as well here. Try it there instead. Guessing healing. Maybe also set up for King Tiger. If things draw out longer, they lose the Tiger 1. There you go. Send to the schwerer punted quarters here. Got the Kugelwagen. Got a lot of Panzer there in parade. Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper out. Tonkatsu's got themselves a bit of defense going here. Fresh trenches being dug in the concrete and asphalt. I don't suppose we could get some tools for dealing with this. No, you gotta do it with those little shovels. Except for you, Terrans, because you complained, you got to do it with a spoon. Oh, bother. Flares deployed here. Thumbs up to Eisernes Kreuz, doing some smart reconnaissance there. Tiger tank setting out.
The capture point is being overrun.
North of it moving there from Eisernes Kreuz. Cromwell racing in and going for the Stukas and knocks it out in a bold dashing maneuver. The dust resulting in a lot of damage to the Cromwell. Gains Vetty fleet. Stukas barrage only fires 2 rockets, which do next to nothing. Sabers rush back. Eisernes Kreuz pushes forwards here though.
Our capture point.
AC the disengaging bit. We got the Avery there hanging back in reserve here, perhaps hoping that Eisernes Kreuz commits, allowing here for a counter slap from the Avery. Panzers rushing for the center here. Could deploy smoke to cover up the partial advance here. Moving in from the north now here. Perhaps hoping also to use his diversion. Sneaking forces from the south hit the southern victory point again. Avery shoots and it hits one of those massive storage tanks there. Doing nothing. An embarrassing and awkward moment here for Tonkatsu. Possibly the worst possible time. Cromwell being committed here to the fight again. Can't afford to hold it back now. Eisernes Kreuz pushing forwards here. And the Cromwell gets knocked out by a stray rocket. The situation here for Tonkatsu is turning quite dangerous in a matter of moments now. 6-point cleared out as well. With this could very well be GG for Tonkatsu. They were holding on so well for so long, but not too long briefly that low, but they were holding on reasonably. But yeah, AC there going for it again. Avery moving up. He almost ready to fire. 6 points left here. Moving up with Avery, shooting at the Tiger tank, and there we go. Heavy damage inflicted the Tiger tank, but does survive. Comet almost done here, but it may not be in time. We got 4 points left, 3 points left. Sections rushing in here. 2 points left. Avery is a burning mess here. A tea kettle gone rogue. And there you go. GG, game over. A blow that Tonkatsu was close at times. In the end, Eisernes Kreuz, I think, had a pretty good and unorthodox strategy, which I think Tonkatsu struggled a bit to deal with, though there was also some tactical missteps committed here and there, which I think also benefited Eisernes Kreuz quite significantly in the end, though he pulled through here and saw victory. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial saying cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.